Sandy Munro has sounded off, and I mean in a big way. He's furious. He's seriously furious at the media, which, well, to be fair, he's got a point there. But he is saying Elon Musk has a plan, and everyone's just taking this way too personally. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I personally am a fan of Sandy Munro. I've got to say that. Sandy, I am a fan, and I really appreciate your channel. There's nothing else like it. There isn't. I mean, tell me someone else that does something like what he does. There's nothing. It's such a huge commitment because, I mean, put it this way, guys, even if he got 1 million views on one of his videos, it wouldn't justify the investment he's putting in, the amount of work he's putting in to do everything he does. It's insane that we can get this kind of information from someone. It's just awesome. However, Sandy Munro is clearly angry. And he says he's assessing this situation objectively. And what situation am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Tesla. I'm talking about Elon Musk in particular. I'm talking about Elon Musk firing so many people, Elon Musk changing plans for the supercharging network. Everything that's been going on this year so far. It feels like, everything has blown up. It almost feels like, back in the days when everyone was hating on Kobe Bryant or when they were hating on LeBron James, that when he made the decision, it feels a little bit like that, right? The media are going crazy. But to be fair, the media have been going crazy at Elon Musk for many, many years now, and it hasn't just been this year. Sandy does have a point when he says they're overdoing it and they don't understand what Elon Musk is talking about. Now, I want to make a point here. Sandy Munro has enormous, serious brass balls to make the video he just made. The video he just made it's definitely polarizing people on his channel. Look at the comments on his channel. People are furious. A lot of people are furious and they completely disagree with him. And he knew this would happen. He's not an idiot. He knew that people would disagree. He sees some of these comments, and I'm talking comments that have, hundreds and hundreds of likes. He knew this would happen. He knew that it would potentially blow up in his face to some degree, that some people would agree and some people would passionately disagree, and they do. Boy, oh boy, they do. But the fact that he went and made this video anyway, you've got to give him some credit. It takes some serious courage to do that, because for me personally, it is challenging to do that, to just completely give your 100% honest opinion. You guys probably think I do that. I kind of try to temper it down a little bit, because I am an opinionated person. But Sandy Munro, wow, I mean, credit to him for just coming out and saying exactly what he thinks. Now, I don't agree with everything that he thinks, by the way. I've got to make a point there. I agree with some of it, but some of it I don't. I don't think, first of all, he says Elon Musk planned this out. And, he says Elon Musk is having to do this because he's having to respond to investors. But then he's saying Elon Musk planned it out and it's all part of the strategy. Those two things are kind of contradictory. I don't think Elon Musk really planned this out at the moment. I think he can be reactionary. Don't get me wrong, Elon Musk is way smarter than me. If you're watching this channel right now, I highly doubt you're smarter than Elon Musk. It's pretty unlikely. I mean, think about it, right? The guy is one of the few richest people in the world. He's done things that we can only dream of doing, right? Yeah, he can be erratic. Yeah, that's absolutely true. But his IQ is just through the roof. The guy is genius. But geniuses are flawed. Elon Musk is a flawed genius. I don't think there's any question about that. He clearly can't control his urges to tweet or to, what do you call it, to X now or something? I don't know what you call it now. So a lot of people are sounding off on him. Now, it's true what Sandy said, that Tesla doesn't really have a choice here. They have to fire staff. I don't think Elon Musk has much choice here. They have to fire people. People are taking that, I think, the wrong way. And I think Elon Musk is going out of his way to fire people because he doesn't like humans and he sees them as completely expendable. I think it's because it's necessary. Tesla is in a little bit of a crisis right now, and they need to pivot their business away from being a race to the bottom. Elon Musk is seeing this 10 years in advance. That's what Sandy Munro is saying. I think Sandy is right to some degree here, because basically Elon Musk, he's saying, you know what? This race to the bottom, I've been in a race to the bottom, guys. I started a company, a cycling company, online cycling gear, and we became one of the biggest stores fast, but it was a race to the bottom. Online sales, it's a race to the bottom. You're just competing on price. Everyone's pushing their prices down. You're selling things, before you know it, you're selling things below cost. That's the automotive industry. That's what China is doing to the automotive industry. It's not just doing it to the Chinese automotive industry. They're going to do this to the worldwide automotive industry. And Elon Musk is simply seeing this in advance because it's happening now, but it's going to happen. You think all these price cuts are just going to apply to Chinese cars and that's it? It's never going to bleed outside of China? Of course it is. Of course it is. And Elon Musk sees Tesla just competing in this bloodbath in China, which will end up being a bloodbath worldwide. And then how much profit can you make selling cars when that happens? But how much profit can you make selling cars when that happens? Then you have full self-driving. And people don't buy cars the same way they used to. It'll be a revolutionary change. And I think Musk is seeing that change. He's gambling a little bit, but he believes that he can see into the future. So far, he pretty well has done that. He pretty well has seen into the future. His master plan, he followed all that through. How the hell did he do that? It's insane, right? But he followed it through. So Sandy has a point that Elon Musk is smarter than us and he's following a strategy. But I don't think Elon Musk is always following a strategy. He can be reactionary. Now, here is a quick summary. The top 10 Sandy Munro quotes from this video. Now, Web Pro News, they've put this together. So thank you, Web Pro News. Number one, Elon Musk is the greatest person on the planet right now. Sandy was kind of saying that, right? But maybe Sandy, what he meant was he's done the greatest things right now of anyone on the planet. And well, he'd be right, to be honest. If you are objective, he would be. Elon Musk has basically himself gotten us all to get into electric cars, to get into batteries. It's changed things in a huge way. And it's put us on the right track. Really, it would have happened eventually, no question. But I think it's happened 10 years earlier than what it would have otherwise. Number two, he says you look at that magnificent piece back there, even if you don't like the look of the Cybertruck, look inside. He's torn down the Cybertruck and he's saying it's basically engineering genius. Now, a lot of people in the comment section on Sandy's video are like, oh, there's nothing special here, there's nothing good here. Those guys are just people who comment, right? They do nothing with their lives. When you tear something down and you don't understand it, you just look silly. So I think Sandy is basically saying the Cybertruck is incredible. And I think if you disagree with that, well, maybe you aren't that experienced. Anyway, number three, who else is going to push 48 volts? Give you an Ethernet ring or rear wheel steering, or actually not rear wheel steering, but basically saying rear wheel steering in combination with the whole concept of drive-by-wire. It's true that Tesla did bring out new things with the Cybertruck, and people are really downplaying them. They're saying that they mean nothing. I think they're pretty significant. For example, there's a Cybertruck involved in a crash today. A Mustang crashed into the side of it. The Mustang was pretty beaten up. The Cybertruck had no dents, nothing. I mean, it's quite an incredible vehicle in a number of ways. Number four, if your chargers are the best on the planet and they're running at 99.9% uptime, what do you need an R&D and new product development team for? So Sandy says Musk has fired Tesla's supercharger team, their supercharger, their entire team pretty much. Well, I don't think it's the entire team, but it's the vast majority of the team. He's saying, what do you need them for? If you've already got great superchargers, you've already got, version 4 superchargers, they already exist. Tesla can just build more of them, install more of them. You don't really need the team. I'm not sure that's true. I think Tesla will rehire some of the team. That's what I've been hearing. So I do think Tesla will rehire the best in the team. And they will continue to work on it. But I think Elon Musk is saying, you know what? Margins in charging are too low. Margins are too low. We can get enough data from people. We don't need to install massive numbers of chargers. And I think he's pivoting towards artificial intelligence. So that's just his strategizing. Number five, when you have to make some hard decisions for the investors, you wind up doing things that may be a little controversial. And this is what I think is really going on here. I believe Musk is cutting costs because he feels he has to. He feels that that's Tesla's only choice right now. Cut costs, and where you can, redistribute funds into the future, which obviously many people believe now is artificial intelligence. Whatever that may be, full self-driving, robotics, etc. Number six, Elon said he'll be building more stations. He's going to populate those areas where there's a high charge need. Will he build more stations out? Well, getting back to that last point, Tesla, I don't agree with Sandy here. Tesla do need to innovate with their chargers, and this area is an area that I think that innovation is necessary. The reason I say there's 350 kilowatt charging, Tesla's V4 chargers can do that, but there are charging stations in China that can charge at 600 kilowatt. They will eventually come to America. And Tesla will have to eventually compete with that. They won't have much choice because That technology will be appropriated by American companies. They'll use it, they'll license it, whatever it may be, and it will come. So Tesla will need to innovate there. But when he says Elon will be building more stations, does Tesla even need this whole supercharging team for that to happen? You would think they would need at least some people for that to happen. Number 7, eventually you have to invest and you bank on the future, not the next quarter. I'm not sure what he meant there. Number 8, Elon Musk thinks a mile ahead. He's not a checker player, he's a chess player. I think we can all agree with Sandy on that. Is he thinking a mile ahead right now though? Or is he reacting to investors? Or is it a combination of both? What do you guys think? Let me know what you think. Number 9, if you're in sales and marketing and they don't need that anymore, you go and find a new job. That's just the way it works. Now, Sandy believes that people were fired, the 10% were fired, they can find a new job, right? Sometimes jobs finish, projects come to an end, and you move on and you find a new job. And he's basically saying Elon Musk is not firing these people to be vindictive. He's doing it because projects are ending or he's cutting costs for a variety of different reasons. But everyone's taking this personally and believing that it's some sort of vindictive attack by Elon Musk. And I agree with him. It's not some vindictive attack by Elon Musk. I think Musk hates people. I don't think he's firing people because he wants to. I think he does feel the pressure that he needs to do this. Number 10, nothing Elon did on this is anything but good business and good business planning. Now Sandy Munro was very positive about Musk. He said that pretty much nothing that Elon's done in the last month is anything but good business and good business planning. I'm not sure about that. I think some of it is good. I definitely think the artificial intelligence, have a look at what Tony Seba is saying. Seba and Musk are on similar wavelengths in a lot of ways, guys. We have to recognize when there's two people are thinking further ahead than we do, and they are clearly. Now, is Musk being reactionary though, like he can be on X? Possibly a little bit of that, and a little bit of forward planning. It's a combination of the two. I think there's a big pivot going on at Tesla. I think the board have all discussed this. They're pivoting away from wanting to build 20 million cars a year. I believe that plan is completely cancelled now. There's no point to that. Race to the bottom, like I said. I think the industry Tesla is really going to go for is humans. It's going for humans. It's going for jobs. Not jobs necessarily, but it's going for the global labor market. That is worth trillions of dollars every year. And I don't think Tesla thinks there's a race to the bottom going on in that industry. There could be one day, but there isn't right now. People are criticizing Tesla's bot. They're saying it's not very good, but it will become good. Full self-driving wasn't that good. It's suddenly become pretty damn good. Goldman Sachs said today they're shocked by how good it is. Won't be long before Tesla cracks full self-driving. Maybe give it a few more years, the robotics step up a level, and they go after those two areas, right? Uber and human beings, jobs, the entire global labor force. That is worth trillions. Together, that is worth way more than the entire automotive industry put together. Now, that is possibly what Tesla are pivoting to. But I don't know, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Now, I know some people disagree with Sandy here, but you can't say some of his points weren't valuable. He's right. The media is barely worth listening to. It is so negative. It is so driven towards making something sensationalized and negative. And you know what that does? You know what that turns us as human beings into? It turns us into kind of morons, negative morons who think negatively. And you've got to control the stage of your mind. The stage of your mind is the area you control. But what's happening is that the media starting to control the stage of your mind when we start to read too much of this negative news. And all of a sudden, your emotions are being manipulated by negative news headlines, which primarily are mostly exaggerated and often false. So that's my takeaway from this. I agree with Sandy on that. We need to read less of the sensational, often false, and very negative news media. What do you think? Thanks for watching.